If God already knows exactly what you're going to choose tomorrow, did you ever actually have a choice? That question sounds like a trick, but it's not. It's one of the oldest arguments against free will in the history of philosophy, and it quietly bothers more Christians than almost any other idea in the Bible. Here's the logic, laid out simply. God is described as knowing everything, past, present, and future. If God already knows, right now, exactly what you'll decide next Tuesday, then next Tuesday is already fixed. It can't go any other way. And if it can't go any other way, were you ever really choosing, or just watching yourself do the only thing you were always going to do? That's not a small question. If it's true, it changes everything. Prayer starts to feel pointless. Responsibility starts to feel unfair. Love starts to feel like a script you're reading without knowing it. So let's actually take this seriously instead of brushing past it. Start with the core confusion, because almost the entire problem comes from mixing up two very different things: knowing something and causing something. Here's a simple example. Imagine your friend has watched you order coffee every single morning for 10 years. Same order, every time. One morning, she tells someone, "I already know exactly what they're going to order." She's right. She does know. But did her knowing it cause you to order it? No. You still walked up, still looked at the menu, still made the choice yourself. Her knowledge didn't remove your freedom. It just accurately predicted it. Now stretch that idea further, because that example alone doesn't fully solve it, and a careful thinker will notice that. The deeper answer theologians have worked through for centuries involves something most people have never actually been taught: how God relates to time itself. Most of our confusion happens because we assume God experiences time the way we do, one moment after another, waiting to find out what happens next. But classical Christian theology has consistently described God as existing outside of time entirely, not watching the future arrive, standing, in some sense, at every point of history at once. Theologian and philosopher Boethius, writing centuries ago, while imprisoned and awaiting execution, worked through this exact question and gave us the picture many thinkers still use today. Imagine time as a long road. You and I are standing on that road, only able to see the small section we're currently walking. God, in this picture, isn't further down the road watching us approach a fixed destination. God is above the entire road, seeing the whole thing at once, beginning to end, the way you might look down at a winding path from a mountaintop. From that vantage point, God doesn't predict what you'll choose. God simply sees what you choose, the same way you can see the whole shape of a river from above without having caused the river to bend the way it does. That distinction matters more than it sounds like it does. Prediction implies something is locked in ahead of time, controlling the outcome. Sight doesn't control anything. It just observes what's actually there. So when the Bible says God knows the end from the beginning, it's not describing God running a simulation and forcing you down one path. It's describing a being who exists outside the timeline altogether, fully present at the moment of your birth and the moment of your death simultaneously, seeing your real, freely made choices the way you'd see a completed painting, rather than predicting brushstrokes one at a time. Philosopher Alvin Plantinga, one of the most respected Christian philosophers of the last century, spent much of his work defending exactly this point. Foreknowledge and freedom aren't actually in conflict once you stop assuming they're both operating inside the same timeline. God's knowledge depends on what you freely do. Your freedom doesn't depend on God's knowledge. Let that sit for a second, because it flips the entire fear behind this question upside down. You are not being watched from ahead like a character trapped in a movie someone already filmed. You are being fully known, the way someone who loves you completely might know exactly how you'll respond to something, not because they're controlling you, but because they understand you that completely. There's a difference between a puppet and a person who is deeply known. A puppet has no will of its own. Someone else's hand decides every movement. A person who is fully known still makes every choice themselves. They're just not a mystery to the one who knows them. That's actually a comforting idea once you see it clearly, not a threatening one. It means your prayers, your decisions, your growth, none of it is empty motion inside a story that was already written without you. It means you are genuinely choosing, genuinely responsible, genuinely free, and at the exact same time, never once outside the awareness of a God who isn't waiting to see what happens to you. He already sees the whole shape of your life, not because he wrote every line for you, because he's standing somewhere you and I have never been able to stand, above the whole road, watching you walk it, one real, freely chosen step at a time.